on the nose for sure.
So yeah, that's an interesting concept. I'm not sold on the rapid aging or the gimmicks and tricks on making whiskey taste older than, what it actually is. But obviously,
Right.
I haven't tried that version or that attempt at it. So I'm curious to hear what you got to say about it.
Yeah. I'm trying to come up with words because it's very sour. In the fact that it was finished in a sour barrel, a sour cherry beer barrel or something like that. So like it does have a sour note to it, but it's not pulling it away. And the whiskey that's there is really nice. It's very rye, but it's also very sweet and very coating on the tongue, which is it's a really strange feeling. Actually, it's kind of, this is one of those ones you got to sit with for a while, not be in front of a camera talking to people, and we just gotta. So if you guys want to try this, make sure that hashtag ETOH to win a 2-ounce sample of this. This is some Reactor whiskey. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I will tell you that when I talked to Tobias, he was pretty cool. The way that he did everything and how he was going about it. So yeah, to me it was really cool. And the fact that he's in Denmark doing different things, different country. Of course, I'm going to nerd out about that because that's just, what I do.
That was a good podcast. I remember listening to that one. That was pretty fun. Interesting tidbit.
That one was actually. Go ahead.
Your orange cork. So orange
Yes.
is the national color of Denmark. I don't know if that's why the cork is orange, but just throwing that out there.
I mean, it very well could be because the top of the cork is blue, so it's blue and orange, and I'm wondering if that is their colors. But anyway, all that being said, I'm going to let this run for a couple more minutes, and we have another guest. We're just moving right along here.
What's up,
so
Tater
how have
Dom?
you been,
What's up,
Derm?
everybody?
Obviously,
I've been good. I've been good. Yeah.
Holidays treated you right?
Yeah, holidays were good. Get to spend time with the fam, drink a little bit, have fun. Kick back and relax. I took the day. I had to go back to work. Normally would have had to go back to work on Thursday, but I took that day off and just kind of hung out.
Sweet. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
I don't like it when Christmas falls right in the middle of the week. Because usually by that time of the year, I've used up all my vacation and I have none left to take, a decent vacation time. So we get kind of stranded going back to work, but it is what it is. Speaking of giveaways, you just won one.
I did.
Cool.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I don't have a whole lot of Cedar Ridge, so I'm excited to get into it because the little bit that I have tried, they're quintessential, and some of the samples that I've been given and stuff, I've loved everything that has came across my desk. So it's been really interesting.
Yeah, they do great stuff. You're getting and that one that you won, that is a Wisconsin Hy-Vee only store selection.
Okay.
So it was only available at the Wisconsin Hy-Vee stores, and it's quintessential, finished in 3 different types of brandy: apple, pear, and peach brandy, I believe, is the third one.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
fun, man.
Awesome.
It's a fun whiskey.
Okay, we're going to give this one a couple more minutes for you to win a 2-ounce sample of Reactor whiskey. You're never going to get this again. I promise you. I promise you. I'm the only one that's dumb enough to give you reactor whiskey. It won't kill you because I already tried my little sample and I haven't fallen over yet. So it is actually whiskey. They just do strange heat and different types of wood. And I saw that one had a little bit of malic acid in it, which as long as it's not too much malic acid, then that could get a little weird. But Bourbon Hall, how's it going? Yeah, thank y'all. Thank y'all all for being here. Okay, so I'm going to give it a couple more seconds on this hashtag ETOH, and then we will do that giveaway, and we'll bring in our other guest, and then we'll move on. What are we moving on to? See, I'm trying to do this kind of fast because, for one, I don't want to be here all night. I got other things to do, and for two, I know you guys got other things to do, so, it's one of those things, but I can also talk all night. So that's, that's kind of how it goes.
Right.
And those of you who are new in the chat, if you want to win, we have just surpassed the larceny barrel. If you guys want to win that plus another barrel that we are moving into round 2. Let me see. I'm trying to check the fundage, you know what I mean, to make sure we can move on up.
Moving on up.
Let me see.
To the east side.
Yeah. So I tried to hook up my Bluetooth to the computer. It would not work.
Okay.
It would not work. So I don't understand why, but it wouldn't. So
it didn't want you to do whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah, I could hear it through my headphones, through my mixer, but I couldn't hear it. I
like your little background music.
Yeah, well, it's
a nice little groove.
So, yeah, it is. It is. I go between that one and there's another one, and it's a little more rock and roll, and sometimes it kind of throws you off. All right, let's go ahead and run this one. Thank you all for being in the chat. Let's go ahead and run it. If I can freaking find, I got like 27 tabs open. Let's go.
Oh, I see spicy strawberries here.
Mm-hmm. And more.
That's hilarious.
All right. Good job. Good job.
Look at you go, Spice.
Good job, Spicy. All right. I am going to add our next guest in, and we'll get on to our next sample. All right. How's it going, brother?
Oh, look, it's me. It's going pretty good. Can you hear me?
It is you. Yes. Yeah.
I was just commenting. Nice job, Spicy, for winning the reactor whiskey made with real bits of elephant foot from Chernobyl, I presume.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
I think you're right.
Exactly.
I think you're right.
But how did that one taste? Did you try it, Randall?
Yes. It was good. I need to sit down with it a little bit more. I just tried a small sample of it right here. It was rye forward. It has a sour cherry finish. So like it tastes like sour cherry, like those sour cherry candies you used to eat. And then it was finished in acacia wood, which I don't know what that's supposed to taste like, but it was really smooth, but it had like a sour note to it. So I'm excited to get into it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure.
All right. Well, so before we move on, I gotta call out 2 elephants in the room that I see here. One, actually, I don't know who you are. I haven't met you yet. And Randall's introduction was a little weak. So, but I'm very
sorry.
That's no problem. But I see a little Wisconsin tin in the back with the Tattersall logo on it. Thoroughly thrilled about that. And you're drinking some Westland. So, American Single Malt, I'm a happy guy.
I am.
This is Dylan. Sorry, Dylan.
No, that's fine.
Germ, Dylan.
Nice to meet you, Dylan.
Nice to meet you. I've watched some of your stuff and Randall's victory on the second blind challenge that you guys did a couple days ago. So congratulations, Randall.
Well, thank you for watching.
Yep, silently in the background, just kind of watching.
I barely, I barely won that. Okay,
hey, just an inch or a mile, right? Was, still a victory.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it was a win. I'll take the win, but good Lord, it was it was a lot. It was a lot for sure.
Yeah. No, I was just drinking some the Westland. That was like my gateway into American single malt years back, and the Sherrywood is my absolute favorite. So I thought with the recent TTB classification that it was fitting. So
yeah, absolutely. Cheers. Which Westland is that one?
This is just it used to be the shelf stable, just the regular Sherrywood edition when they had the American oak and the peated line, and then they
switched over.
Yep. Yeah. So, but the regular flagship one is really good. I just prefer this one a little bit more. So
okay.
But and then as far as the Tattersall, I am kind of I'm basically in Minneapolis, but Tattersall had that the tasting room in Minnesota, and then moved over to you guys because you're in Wisconsin, right?
I am. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, they make some good stuff.
I love Tattersall. I think they do a fantastic job. Their single malts are, for lack of a better term, interesting, but not bad interesting. You know, like somebody will say, "Oh, that's interesting," and they'll mean it negatively, and it's not. It's just it's very different. But
for sure,
but fun.
And
their bourbon and rye are absolutely
their rye are really good. I don't know. We went and did a tour about 6 months back, and they had I'm trying to look at it if it's around, but they had a rum that I picked up that I forget what they finished in it, but that was really good, and it was like $35.
All right,
it was spot on. I don't know if you guys drink rum, but
I do.
It's my kind of side hustle. By the way,
I'm trying really hard.
I'm not trying to steal anything, but my brother is in Barbados for his honeymoon right now, and he's just texted me because they just visited the Foursquare distillery, which was like 15 minutes away from the hotel they're staying at. And he's like, "Hey, do you want like what's this?" And he's texting me. I'm like, "Oh, like I can't get that. Like you gotta hook me up." So he's gonna hook me up with some, probably UK and other stuff, but in America we don't get. But it should be kind of cool.
Right.
Cool. Some cool Barbados rum right from the source. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so we are going. I want to talk about something real fast. Hold on.
Yeah. It's your show. You talk, brother.
I know, but like this is the part of the show that has to pay the bills. So today I want to talk about our sponsor. Other than the loyal patrons and all of those, and I want to talk about HinterhofDistilling.com. Well, not .com, but Hinterhoff Distilling. This is Calaveras cask, the cask strength single barrel. This is an amazing whiskey. It's a bourbon whiskey that they finish in wine cask, and depending upon the batch you get is different wine barrels. That's why he calls it Calaveras, because it's like a mixture of different wine barrels. It is so good. It is a great pour to have on the rocks because it's a little hot for me, for my personal palate. I put it on a big rock and it really sings because it waters it down just a little bit. It's only 119 proof, but yet it's still it packs a punch for sure. But if you go to HinterhofDistilling.com, you can pick you up a bottle of this. They have pretty good shipping, and they're doing something for the holidays called the Warming Hut. And it's a holiday spirit that you can get. It's like a cocktail in a glass. It's really nice. It has some dark chocolate notes and stuff like that in it. You pour it over an ice ball. You can withstand your family a little bit longer with it. So head over to HinterhofDistilling.com. And I thank Hinterhoff for sponsoring us. Okay, we're done with that. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
No, that's excellent, man. That's excellent. Yeah. I have yet to try Hinterhoff yet. I've been wanting to.
It's coming your way here in a minute.
I was just looking at that. I think I got a sample from you.
So right now, I am going to open Balcones Texas Blue Corn Bourbon. 63.5%. You want to talk about hot? And this was bottled 6/10/2021. So I have been sitting on this bottle for a long time, and I don't know why I don't freaking open it. And so what did I do? I freaking open it. So I'm going to give some of it away too, because why not? That's what we do on this show.
Creating your own Dusties, I see.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Tom Black 06, or my computer monitor is really far away, but he had a question on the Westland single malt. He's saying he's having a hard time finding something that hits him just right. But I mean, what do you guys think? Like, depends on what you're getting. But what other single malts have you had from America? That might be something to ask.
Yeah, I mean, single malt in itself, you have to kind of play with it and find your profile, I think, personally. I mean, I am a single malt head, and I know Jerem is too, so it's kind of easy for us. But getting people into single malt, obviously, if you don't like the malt taste, the taste of the actual grain, you're going to need something that's very finished, I would think. And this is just me talking on my ass, but I would think you would need something very finished or bourbon influenced. And then that's where I would go. So like with Westland, I would say they're port cast finished or something like that, to where you're not getting all of the impact of the grain. Because I think that's what turns a lot of people off, even though the grain influence in a bourbon is the corn, but the corn is a sweetness, whereas the grain is a graininess. And some people are kind of turned off by that. They say it can be grassy, or it can be too malty or whatever. So that's just personally what I would say.
Yeah, Tom, which ones from Westland have you had? And hey, Donald, thanks for joining, buddy.
Because I would agree with what you just said, Randall. I think the sherry wood, speaking as just far as like Westland or even just American single malt, like that is a very, it's super sherry forward. Like that is almost more than the Glendronach, and as far as just the sherry profile. But
wow, okay,
at least to me. But that's partly why I love it.
Right. Well, and then Locktar comes on and said, let's get an education. What does single malt mean?
Okay.
So Locktar, you're about to get fully educated. Somebody want to take that away? And also while you're doing that, I am going to add to the stage hashtag blue corn to win a 2-ounce sample of the Balcones Blue Corn Bourbon. You don't see these, guys. These are not on the shelves. This was a distillery only, aged 38 months. Really great stuff. So somebody take it away.
So Locktar, yeah, single malt, whether you're talking about American or Scottish or Irish or whatever country you want to talk about, single malt actually just means one distillery. Malt, the word malt, generally is just conceived as 100% malted barley. In America, we have malt whiskey, which is 51% malt, and then whatever you want. But worldly, it is pretty much assumed that when you say single malt, you're meaning 100% malted barley that was distilled at one single distillery. So that's the easiest explanation of what is single malt or what it means. Obviously, with the new ratification for American single malt, the single malt still means the same thing: 100% malted barley, one single distillery. Adding the U.S. in there, it has to be distilled, fermented mash distilled in the United States. Does not say bottling, so bottling can be done elsewhere. It does not specify where the grain has to come from, so the grain can be sourced from anywhere. But then the other things are very, very similar to bourbon. Can't be distilled to more than 160. Can't be put in a barrel more than 125. Can't be put in a bottle more or less than 40% alcohol or 80 proof. So those are pretty standard things across American whiskey. they added a straight single malt, American single malt, and that just means it has to be 2 years old or older. And also, if you're going to use coloring, they have to put it on the label that they colored it, which I love that. I wish they would have opted out of it, but the fact that they say you have to call it out on the label if you're going to use it that's a step in the right direction. That's good.
And my mistake, Tom Black, he hasn't tried them. So I think for a starting point, if you can find the Sherrywood finished Westland, that's where I would say start. Mm-hmm. They have discontinued it. So you might, the easiest one you're probably going to come across is the flagship.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a blend of, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's going to be a blend of sherry, new oak, and the peated, I believe.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, basically what they did is they took that heritage lineup, which was the American oak, the peated, and the Sherrywood. They took those three, discontinued them, but blended them all together, like all of those separate things, and then made their one single flagship. So it has a bit of all three of those in it. Not in 33% proportions, but it's whatever proportion they came up with to make it how they wanted it to make it.
Yep.
So
still a solid bottle, but
very solid bottle. I actually, obviously the Sherrywood, I love the Sherrywood of the old set. I thought that was fantastic. The peated, little lacking for me on the peat, but the American oak was a little too much oak influence for me. So I did like the Sherrywood of the original three, but this thoughtfully made, I think they did a fantastic job blending all three of those aspects together and making a very good bottle. So I do like that one.
Yeah, I'm sitting on like 6 or 7 of the Sherrywood unopened ones.
You found a stash somewhere.
I found a stash, and I just I love these. I'm getting that. So
I'm into their Outpost range for sure. Their Outpost range is a bit more expensive, but it's the all Washington stuff. So the Calais is Washington grown barley, and very specific barley. They use one single grain for each release.
I have a Garyana. I forget what. I think it's like edition 5 or 6. I forget. Okay. But then the Solum edition. Solum. I got one of those, but pretty good.
Yeah, and they focus on everything is Washington on those. So like Garyana, obviously it's Washington oak, the Garyana oak. So it's all aged in that. Not all of it, but there's the majority of it is aged in new Garyana oak. Peated, the peat comes from Washington State bogs, so that's kind of cool. And and then obviously the barley in the Calais is the thing there.
All right, I just wanted to give an update, guys. We have had enough entries into the bottle win that we are up in the ante. You are going to be able to win not only one, the Larceny Barrel Proof A123, but I'm kicking another one in there. And if you guys haven't tried from this distillery, you need to right now, and this could be your chance. It's the Ben Holiday Missouri Straight Bourbon Whiskey, bottled in bond. This one is October 2022. So it's 6-year-old whiskey coming out of Missouri. Some of the best stuff that's out there in the bourbon game right now. So $5 donations on Venmo will get you in on this. Now, what'll happen is you'll get a chance to win the Larceny, and if you don't win that, you'll get a chance to win the Holiday. So the more entries you get, the better. So make sure you do that, because we have one more round. If we get to it, you could get the trifecta and get all 3 bottles, and I'll be out a lot of shipping money. So,
first of all, congratulations on the 500, brother. I
appreciate it.
Seriously, congratulations. That's awesome. And 100 episodes on the podcast. That's cool.
Yeah. Yes.
And so what's the Whiskey Shaman's outline or plan for 2025? What do you what's your thoughts? You going to change anything? You're just going to kind of keep trucking at where you're at? And
I am actually going to pull the reins back. Not so much on the podcast. What I like when I originally started the podcast, I've learned so much in the past couple of years about whiskey, and my wife was like, I don't care. Like she wasn't mean about it, but she's like, you're telling me all these things, and like, I don't even know what you're talking about. She goes, why don't you start a podcast and then you can just tell the ether that and go from there. And so that's what I started out doing. And obviously, if you listen to the first couple of episodes, they weren't the greatest because I was doing it on my iPhone microphone or whatever. So now we've moved on up. We got some better equipment and stuff. But I never really thought I was going to get guests on because I was just thought it was going to be me talking to a camera in a shed, and then I got some guests on. And now I've had people like freaking Compass Box came on the podcast, and Holiday Distilling came on the podcast. JT Mellick, Natterjack, good Lord, who just came on? Oh, Found North. Crap, I can't even tell you all. I had Emma from Balcones. We talked about blending. I had Still Austin on. Just all of these amazing people came on there, and it's been so much fun. And so one thing I want to do is try to diversify a little bit and get more into some of the bigger brands, which I know is really difficult because obviously I'm a smaller group trying to get into a bigger brand. But I just got an email back from a fairly large brand, one that you've heard of, and nothing is final yet because I don't want to say anything and jinx it. But I just did a bad review of one of their whiskeys, and I think that's one of the reasons he reached out to me. So if you follow me on YouTube, which hopefully you do, go check back at some of my episodes and see which one I gave a bad review, and you might get a couple of details on it. But I just want to continue to buckle down. But on my YouTube stuff, I want to kind of step away from doing the clickbaity stuff. Like I did my bourbon of the year and my this and my that. I'm not in it for the likes and the views and stuff like that. I'm in it because I love whiskey, and that's how I want it to be. And so like starting next year, my content on YouTube will be more sommelier based, I guess you can say. It's going to be more like teaching you about whiskey and teaching you about how to drink the whiskey, and how, like, I do a whiskey 101, and that's been fine. But like, just drinking this Balcones Blue Corn, it's hot, it's fiery, it burns your nose. Like I'm having to step back really far to smell it because it's intense. So teaching people about that, and that's kind of one of the things I started doing, and now it's kind of turned into, what tater bottle can I get now? So
yeah.
Anyway,
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I want it to go from here. But obviously, I will, if I get a cool, I'm not against allocated bottles or anything like that. I don't want you to think I am. I just am not going to seek them out because, for one, I can't find them. I'm not going to wait in line for days at a time to pick up a Stag or a freaking, would I love to have a George T. Stagg or a William LaRue Weller? Absolutely. But at the same time, there's a bunch of craft distilleries out there that are doing some amazing stuff that can rival some of that. They might not have the heritage brand, but they got some really cool backstory and stuff like that. And that's one of the things that I really want to showcase to everybody. So long story short, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Perfect. No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, the podcast that you've been doing, the podcast you've been doing has been, it's been phenomenal. I think you're interviewing the people that a lot of the whiskey community really cares about, like the Andalusia, Ben Holiday, the small to medium producers.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, and those are the ones that, and the small ones, it's hard to find information on them of any sorts, and you're doing it. So kudos.
Like it's kind of funny when I just did the video for Rio Bravos, which is a small distillery in College Station. I know, Doc, you hate College Station. It's fine. But I looked on their website because I was trying to pull information on it. There was literally one page. That's it. And so it took me talking to him to even get enough to make some sort of description to put it down below the podcast. I was like, okay, there's not really a whole lot there. So it's really cool to talk to these I want to say up and coming distilleries, and hopefully, they remember me when they get big. And we can talk later on, but I'm excited to talk to whoever. You don't even have to be a distillery. You can be I talk to a lot of NDPs and stuff like that, but
right.
Even if you're somebody cool in the whiskey industry, I've been trying to get Nancy Fraley on forever. And she was on a stream I was listening to last night, I think, and I was trying to schmooze her up a little bit. It didn't work. So, all right, let's do this. Giveaway real fast. This is for the Balcones Blue Corn Bourbon. We have 17 entries. I'm going to give it a couple more seconds. That way, if anybody wants to get in there, it's a 2-ounce sample of Balcones Blue Corn Bourbon, 63.5% ABV, 38 months old. Bottled 9/10 of 2021, so it's been sitting in the bottle for a little bit. Let's do it. Who's gonna win?
Think I can call the winner again?
Jeremy, I don't. Maybe.
I'm not gonna try it because we've been
M
down too long. Yep, there you go.
Nice job. All
right, I M is whoever M is. M and M, maybe, who knows. But anyway, this blue corn is really nice. I haven't had a bourbon from Balcones for a long time besides their pot still bourbon. This one is really nice. It's really dark and dank like their single malt. But it does have some heat on it for sure.
It pretty much sums up almost every bottle of Balcones. Dark, dank, and some heat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's yeah. I like Balcones profile to me, and those of you who haven't had it, you need to try at least one Balcones. I wouldn't start with Brimstone because Brimstone is scrub oak smoked, so it's a little weird. But like their single malt. I did the blind challenge. Well, not the blind challenge, but the Texas best of Texas whiskeys. And the guys, Doc from Old Fashioned Ways was on there and a couple of other guys. And two of them sent Balcones single malt, but they tasted different. So it was, they had a little bit of a flavor drift on them, and I liked one better than the other. So it is batch specific, which is kind of cool. Even though Balcones is a fairly large craft distillery, if you want to call them that, they do still have flavor drift, and they don't really care about that. So it's really kind of cool. It's really kind of cool.
Does anyone know how widely or how frequently they're using their bigger barrels that they're using, like the like above the 53 gallon?
I know they are for Lineage.
Is it just okay?
And I think they did for Mirador as well. I don't know though. Don't quote me on that. They don't have they have quite a few of them, but they keep that whiskey in there for years and years. Right. They have one project that's been going on for like 6 years and the whiskey's still in there. So they're just kind of let me get this stupid thing off the thing so we can actually see each other. They've been maturating that one for a long time. So mostly it's 53, but the funny thing is they use a lot of new oak on their single malts as well. So that's but then they obviously reuse it till it falls apart, which is good. But yeah, so that's why their single malts it's very oaky profile, because it's mainly in new oak, which is
right
strange. Norman,
spicy. Yeah, you're 100% right. Lineage is a really good one to start with. You get just a touch of that Balcones profile in it, and it's a fantastic whiskey. And I say it all the time. It's the best product they put out on a regular basis,
for sure.
Right. I will tell you that the Mirador Eclipse, the one they had for the Eclipse when it was going, that one. It has some funk on it because of the yeast that they use. They use 2 or 3 different types of yeast. It has some funk on it, and it is so good. And my bottle's about a little over little under halfway done, and it's really opening up nice. I don't dip into it that much because I'm like, man, I'll probably never get another bottle of it because I've never seen one. But yeah, it's really opening up really nicely, and it's getting some like minerality and all kinds of weird. It's almost like it could be, Talisker or something like that, where it's getting some of that minerality sea spray stuff in it. I don't know. It's really coming together, guys. Those of you who have won already, Dylan, I know your address already, but Spicy and whoever M is, if you want to email me at whiskeyshamanpodcast@gmail.com. That's a really hard email. It's just my name plus podcast@gmail. If you want to do that so I can get your address to send your sample. And if you won one sample, I'm probably going to give you another sample. So in the email, if it's anything we drank tonight and you want another sample, just let me know, because the shipping's not that much more. I'm just not going to pour it right now because I'm running low on sample bottles. I don't know what the deal is. I think I need to drink more sample bottles so that I can have some more of those.
I'm in that same exact situation. I'm running low on my 2-ounce sample bottles, and yeah, I got too many. I got to start drinking them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's another thing I want to start this next year. And I did that with a couple of reviews I did for this week, because you know that we're at this weird part between the holiday where we're like, am I going to work? Am I not going to work? What are we doing? How am I doing this? And so I was like, man, I'll just do these 2 samples. And one was Nashville Barrel Company. It was a single barrel pick, and it was actually pretty good. And the other one was Little Book the Infinite. And I was really excited about Little Book because I was like, man, I've heard really good things about it. It was supposed to have a lot of malt whiskey in it and blah, blah. And it kind of underwhelmed me. And I was just kind of like, man, I mean, it was good. Don't get me wrong. It was good, but it wasn't like, it didn't knock my socks off like I wanted it to. Sure. So I don't know. Have y'all tried either one of those?
I have. I think Connor, who's also sometimes on here with me, he picked one up, the Infinite, and I thought it was good, but it wasn't like head and shoulders above the regular kind of quality of the normal Booker's line.
Okay.
Booker's for me is, it either hits or it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just getting hard pressed to get more of those bottles when I already have a few.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
what's up, Marshall?
Okay, guys. I just wanted to let you know your $5 donation to win a bottle has just jumped up to 2 bottles. So we have Larceny Barrel Proof A123 and Ben Holiday. This is their rye mash bill. Their bottled and bond Missouri Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Both excellent bottles. $5 Venmo gets you 1 ticket, so you can buy as many tickets as you want. And then if we get a little bit more, we will open number 3. So then you have a chance to win 3 separate bottles from one donation. So think about that. That'll be fun to win 3 bottles.
Send that money.
Yeah.
He needs to open up some space in his cabinet, so he's trying to get rid of bottles. So help him out.
Well, that is part of it.
Help everybody out. You help yourself and you help Randall. So
absolutely. I'm still working on my shelves because you run out of money. It's Christmas, the kids want Legos, you can't build shelves. And then I've been busy and I'm hand building the shelves, cutting and threading the pipe myself. So I just don't have the time, and it's been kind of rainy, nasty around here. So I'm like, well, I don't want to go outside. So I've got one shelf. I've got the Texas shelf done. I just don't have the single malt shelf or the bourbon wall. So we got a ways to go on it, but we'll get there. And luckily my daughter doesn't mind me having 700 boxes of whiskey in her room. So
I wouldn't mind if you had 700 boxes of whiskey in my room.
Well, I mean, because insider baseball, but she's like, hey, I'd like to try that. So I gave her a sip of something I was, sipping on. She's 17. So arm's length, it was fine. We're in Texas. And she tried it and she was like, she was like almost puking. She's like, I can't drink that. I was like, and I told you, so stay away from it.
That's right.
Don't get into what we're getting into, man. Please.
The funny thing about alcohol for your kids is, for some reason, it just doesn't at all taste good until they're 21.
Right.
I don't know what it is. It's weird. Hey, Stacy.
Did you guys see? I don't know if you guys watch him or not, but Fred Minnick did his top 100. And the only reason I bring it up is for the Nashville Barrel Company.
Okay.
I maybe you guys said no. I don't know. I'm not sure.
No.
I seem to have missed that one. I don't know how I missed that one. But
so I think there's an ongoing joke with most of us, other than Fred Minnick, I guess, that he is an arrogant prick. I can see that. And he wears the ascot, and you know, we're just like, bro, like, I'm not saying your tasting notes aren't good, and maybe you do pick good whiskey. I'm not saying that. Didn't he pick Evernorth as one of his bottles? Which that's great. I love some of their stuff, but like, come on, you know, like, he's always gonna pick the Weller line and the Peppies and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty funny. Yep. But the Nashville one was actually surprising to me. I hadn't heard a whole lot about it. A couple of people had said something. Now, this was a single barrel, obviously, but it was really interesting. I gave it pretty high marks, but again, yeah, it was to me, and this might get me banned, but that's fine. To me, and I've already said this before, bourbon has such a small wheelhouse that it plays in. And until you start finishing it or doing like weird things to it, it stays within that vanilla, cherry, oak, blah, blah, blah nutshell. Whereas single malts and other things like that, they're very much broader. Even rye whiskey can get a lot broader than that. And so to me, most bourbons, they just taste like bourbon. You know what I mean? I try to get deep into them and like study them. And I have quite a few bourbons, and I dip into them and I'm like, man, I really need something with a little bit more complexity. I don't know. It just, just me. I don't know. And that it hurts my heart because I want to enjoy bourbon more than just say, hey, that'd make a really good old fashioned, but, I hate to say that. Now this Ben Holiday, it really has some nice flavors to it, and I really do enjoy it. I mean, it's not one of those ones that I would pour out for sure, but I got gifted another bottle. That's perks of the job I get. I got gifted another bottle, and I had 2 bottles sitting there. So I'm like, hey, why not? So. Mm-hmm. Tom Black, you're right. Irish whiskey is similarly like that. They can all kind of taste the same unless you get like one that's a little bit different. Like I've noticed with like Clonakilty and people like that. I hate to say this, the Natterjack, the basic Natterjack was really subpar to me. Their cast strength was nice, and their mistake was pretty good because it had more extra oak influence. But most Irish whiskeys are made to kind of be like that because they're triple distilled. So therefore, it takes out a lot of the flavor that's in it. So you're really just getting a little bit of barrel candy and stuff like that. So that's just my thoughts.
And there's plenty of Irish whiskeys that that are definitely unique and fun to explore and all of that. Oh yeah, there's obviously the handful that are basic,
Connemara, I love it.
Connemara is a great one.
I just wish it was a higher proof. Like if they made a Connemara cast strength, I'd be all over it.
Yeah.
You got Irish whiskey guru in here calling you on your
what? I'm sorry, Stacey. I'm not looking at the. No, you are right.
I agree, Stacy.
You are right. Call me out, please.
There is so the thing about the reason I think that Irish whiskey gets that rap is because there's 5 brands, 6 brands,
correct,
six labels that are plastered all over everybody's stuff. And that's all they know of Irish whiskey. And those are the 5, 6 brands that are very, very similar to each other. Right. You get outside of Middleton, and I love stuff from Middleton. I really do. You get outside of the Great Northern Sourcing and stuff like that. You can really find some fantastic Irish whiskeys out there, especially in the single malt game. The Irish pots, single pot still stuff. Some of that can be really fun, and other places play with what they put in there. And actually, I didn't know this. I thought it was single pot still was malted and unmalted barley only, but apparently there's other grains that can play along in there.
Yes,
up to a certain percentage. I didn't know that.
Right.
Until recently. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely stuff outside of the one lane highway.
Yeah, absolutely.
And bourbon has that as well, but it is far less in bourbon than it is in other types of whiskeys. So, for me, bourbons that play outside the lines are the ones that I'm going to gravitate towards. 5% of the grain. Okay. I didn't know what the exact number was. Thank you, Stacy.
So Dylan, I see some Waterford. R.I.P.
Rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah.
That's another topic we can get into, if you guys want to. What's up with all these distilleries just filing for bankruptcy and closing their doors? Like, to me, now filing for bankruptcy and closing doors is 2 different things. Obviously, with the whole Kentucky Owl thing, they're just kind of doing a rebranding, or bankruptcy doesn't mean you close the doors, but Kentucky Owl has been slowly going downhill, for a while. And it's just subpar product that's way too expensive. So do you think that Stoli will come back in and rebuild the brand, or do you think it's just dead? And the same with Waterford. They're selling off all their stock and they're done. So how does that affect the other distilleries?
I'm not up on my bourbon trivia. Kentucky Owl, is that the one where husband and wife owned it? They're getting divorced.
That was Old Carter.
Old Carter. Okay, so I'm I was off on that. So,
but that was connected.
Kentucky Owl was the one that had Dixon Dedman working for them for a while, and now he's out doing his own thing.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. And that may be a part of the reason, because Dixon Dedman does some good stuff.
So there's another podcast that I followed closely, Podcast, and they had some connections to Dixon Dedman, just loosely. And so when he left Stoli and Kentucky Owl, they had a little bit more raps on it, it sounded like. So he was on a non-compete for a couple years after he left Stoli due to a lack of basically agreeing on where they want to see the company go to. And so he was on a non-compete for a while, and he was responsible for the bourbon batches up to 10, I believe, and then 11 was not his own and going forward. And then the Rise editions of the Kentucky Owls, he did batch 4, and then after that, like the St. Patrick's edition and all that stuff was Stoli's control. The in my opinion, it was pretty evident when he left. It seemed like it pretty drastically went down and followed that trajectory to this day. I'm kind of a Dixon Dedman fan a little bit. I like what he does with the 2XO. I by no means think the 2XO is the hottest thing or worth the price tag on all of them. But
yeah,
I think he was just a good blender in my opinion. So
he is a good blender. I agree.
Absolutely.
And I typically do not like double oak stuff, and I haven't found a 2XO that I didn't like. So,
yeah,
whatever that's worth.
Sure. Yeah. I guess back to the Stoli thing. I think what I kind of see, my non-educated opinion, I kind of just see them, trying to sell off as much of the remaining bottles they have. And then I feel like I don't think they're going to hold on to that brand if they want to do anything with it. Stoli's not done anything good with American whiskey. They just don't know how to run it, it seems like. But I think they're going to get it off or, sell it or something. But
right.
Donald.
Yeah. I mean,
those tasting notes, first of all, I can smell that exact scent, 70s Mercedes plastic and diesel smoke. I can smell that. I know exactly what that smells like, and I'm here for it. I would love to try that.
He is not wrong, and I am smelling this one right now. This is the Dunmore edition 1.1, if that means anything to you.
And then Waterford had some promise, but Mark Brenier got in the way. That's funny. My problem with Waterford was always their whole concept was, I want to grow this barley at this one particular farm and taste the differences through terroir and all that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they put it in all kinds of different casks, and it was like all you're tasting is cask.
Yeah,
you're not tasting the farm anymore. You're tasting the cask.
No. Yeah.
And I thought that was a misstep on their part. Stacy made a valid point. They put out 4-year-old Irish whiskey at $100, and it tasted 4 years old. Yep, that's 100% correct.
Mm-hmm.
They did have some serious promise. Their plan was solid. They just executed poorly.
Right. Yeah. All right, guys, we got a couple more minutes on both of these donations. We have the bottle giveaway, which is the Larceny Barrel Proof A123, and the Ben Holiday Bottled and Bond. We are still taking donations for that. If we want to get into tier 3, we can. It's all up to you guys. So however you want to do it. But yeah, no, I am ready to pop open my last pour. Not of the night, but of this show, and is the piece to resistance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger because it's my show and I can do that.
You can do that.
Yep,
I can do that. So I thought it fitting into the year. You guys know that I like old things. Maybe you don't. I like old things. I'm older myself, not really that much older, but I was gifted this, and we're gonna pop it open right now, and it is none other than a wild turkey decanter from 1983 that has not been opened. We are going to crack it open, and yes, you will be able to get a sample of this. I can tell you right now, this has not been opened, but it's about half full, maybe 3 quarts full. There could be a chance, I'm going to try it. There could be a chance that this could be leaded. So if it is, cautious, of course. But if you give me 1 second, I've got to move everything out of the way. I really don't want to drop this because I've been looking for a decanter for a long time. And this, I love Wild Turkey. Wild Turkey's doing amazing things. And they don't really change for anybody. And that's really cool. Jimmy Russell has had an excellent career, stuff like that. I don't know if he sold his soul or not. We're not going to talk about that. But at the same time, we're going to break into this. I just taken the head off, the cork already broke. So
it'll be a process.
You knew that was going to happen.
It just popped in there. Great. Oh God.
Most likely, Randall, you're going to want to get it out of that decanter anyways and get it into an actual.
Absolutely. I am. As soon as we are done here, I'm going to put this into something else. Hey, it's brown liquor at least.
It is. That's brown.
A good sign.
Oh, that's good. Yep.
It is brown liquor.
Is the decanter ceramic or glass?
It is ceramic.
Okay, so chances are it's probably not leaded paint, and it's probably only painted on the outside.
Right, correct. And it is the 101 profile, but this is from 1983. So this was before they were bought. This was when they were using non-GMO grain. This is,
that color is lovely.
Yeah, I mean, look at the color on
it's
this.
It's not
stuff,
cloudy.
Man.
That's good.
It is minimum 8-year-old whiskey in here. It's not cloudy, and I know you're living vicariously through me, and I'm sorry. I am going to go ahead and get this guy going. Nope, I need to go to it first.
So Randall, put your Venmo info back up. Somebody said.
I'm sorry.
No, just somebody suggested that, and I thought that was a good idea. And maybe there we go. Maybe a small hint of what the third tier bottle might be.
Oh, the third tier. Are you ready for the third tier? If we get to it, we have about, I'm not going to say how much we have. We have a little ways to go. Let me do this again. I will go to just me, and it is none other than the Henry McKenna 10-year from 2011. This is a single barrel, bottled in bond. This was, one of those ones that everybody was all about,
Speaking of Fred Minnick.
Yeah, exactly. Fred Minnick loved this bottle back in 19 or 18? This is the 21 edition. It's a great bourbon. It was very allocated for a long time. You couldn't find it. Now it's becoming more and more, but this one to me is a really great bourbon. I love a good bottled in bond. The proof is right on point, and this one has a lot of oak and a lot of character to it. Whereas, like I said, some of the others do not. This one actually has a really good, nice profile. So if we get to it, then that's where we'll go. So if you do Dusty Turkey. I didn't do hashtag. Why didn't I do hashtag? Lord,
Steven, do your comment again and do Dusty Turkey with a space between the two. No hashtag.
God, I am such a loser.
Joe or Jose, same thing.
I will tell you on the nose, it smells like it smells like old turkey. I've never had old turkey. I've had turkey from like 98, I think. This will be the oldest. It's very light though in its profile, and it could have oxidized. Obviously, it could have oxidized in the thing. Let's get in on it. Wow. I don't think
so I've had myself a Wild Turkey 101 from 1971. 1971, maybe 1973. I don't remember which.
Right.
It was one of those two. I had two really dusties. I had an Ezra Brooks from one of those 2 years and a Wild Turkey 8-year 101 from one of those 2 years, 71, 73. Very, very different stuff.
Yes.
Than what it is, what's out today.
Absolutely. So I do have a 2-ounce sample, but what I'm going to do, I just got some chunk of cork in my mouth. So I am going to filter the cork out of this, put it in a different bottle, obviously save the decanter because that's part of why you have it. Then whoever wins this will get a 2-ounce sample of that. And I will tell you that both of you guys are going to get a 2-ounce sample of this as well. So.
So I got to highlight a comment here. I can't highlight them, but Michael Bortner, a little lead won't hurt you unless it comes out of a muzzle. And that just made me laugh. That made me laugh so much.
Spitting facts.
So Joe, you know that the Venmo was for the bottle, not for the Wild Turkey. The Wild Turkey is just a free thing. So I appreciate you Venmoing, but that was for, and now you're in the running for the bottles. But I just wanted to let you know that. So
I am pouring the Madeira finished rye that you sent me, Randall.
Oh Lord,
I am
lovely.
Super intrigued on that. I don't get. Since Still Austin has like their deal through total, we do get like single barrels and stuff, but we don't really get anything limited, not being at the distillery, obviously. So I have been super anxious to open this up.
Yeah, that was my rye whiskey of the year. Still Austin Rye finished in Madeira cask. I mean, you can't get any. It was a distillery only exclusive. And I sampled way too much of it out, and I literally probably have a quarter of the bottle left, and I'm so sad because I'll never get it again. But
that's the price you pay for being a good whiskey person, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You know how many bottles I've killed doing the showdown? Like they get the last ounce of it, and it's like, it is what it is.
Yeah, but you give us all the other stuff that nobody else wants, right?
But no, my whole open bottle collection is up for grabs on that showdown.
I know. I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah.
You're giving us all the,
I will. Okay, let me caveat that there is one bottle in my open bottles behind me here that is not in the list that gets mixed in with the randomizer. So, and that's my 32-year-old Glen Scotia.
I mean, I don't blame you there.
Mm-hmm. I have one bottle that is unopened, just because, and it's not because it's like a George T. Stagg or anything. I don't even have any of those, but it's that I don't know if you can see it on camera. It's this one, because this was the first expensive bottle I bought. It was the Johnny Walker Blade Runner, and
oh, cool!
It's just me and I'm saving it for my friend if he gets hitched. So don't tell him. But
I think you might have.
Well, he probably doesn't. He probably won't see it.
Mm-hmm.
He's more of a fishing video guy, but
okay.
But no, that was, for anyone that doesn't know, the Johnny Walker Black, they made like, I don't know, they made a lot. That's apparently a slightly different blend from the black. I mean, it tastes completely different. It's 49% for the 2049 for the Blade Runner movie, and it is my favorite Johnny Walker to this day.
Nice.
But that's the one that's not opened. Everything else I opened.
What's your second favorite Johnny Walker? Just to kind of put it in perspective.
That's a good question, because is there really? Probably. I really liked the double. Was it the double black?
Okay.
Back in the day when I was starting out, that was really good. But.
So I personally, I mean, even still to this day, I like the green label Johnny Walker. I love that one. I think that
picked that up.
That is one of my favorite ones. Obviously, if you're into peated whiskey, that's a good one. But yeah.
That's a cool decanter.
Somebody asked cool. To see it again.
That is cool.
Bobcat?
Yeah, he's fighting a bobcat. It's really cool.
Yeah, they did some really cool stuff back in the day.
Absolutely.
Jim Beam did it too. Wild Turkey did it. I don't know who else did it, but I know Jim Beam and Turkey did it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm sure there were other distilleries on board with that whole thing. Yeah. But it just really cool stuff to see those artistic like decanters like that. And
absolutely. Just to let you know, Locktar, if you're still in the chat, somebody gifted you 2 donations. So just to let you know that Locktar is on the bottle giveaway with 2 donations. So whoever that nice person was, he told me not to say, so take that for what it is.
Sounds like Locktar's got a secret admirer.
He does. Locktar is new to whiskey. He started.
I enjoy watching him.
He started drinking whiskey medicinally, actually, and it was to help him sleep and help with relaxing after a long day, which we all need to do that. Mm-hmm. And so he started his little whiskey journey, and all the people in the chat have been pushing him along the way the whole time, and now he's rocking and rolling. So we appreciate everything he does. So
I'll have to go check him out.
All right.
The Still Austin. Oh, sorry. The Still Austin Madeira is phenomenal, by the way. It is.
It really is.
Oh,
it really is.
So much baking spice and.
Mm-hmm. but then that sweet
just right. Yeah.
And the sweetness that comes through is like super great. You know what I mean? It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. A couple more seconds on this Dusty Turkey. If you guys want a 2-ounce sample of, I looked at it, it says 1983 from all the accounts that I can see. So it was actually distilled in like what, 78, 75, something like that. So some old school juice. So couple more minutes or seconds on that. And then we, you know what? I think we did.
Dylan, do you, while Randall's looking that up, do you get into Far North much?
I have. Basically, if I see a bottle, I'll try to pick it up. I haven't come across a ton. I know I have one of their ryes and one of their 5-year bourbons. I haven't picked up any of the bottle and bond stuff yet, but
okay.
I like what they're doing.
I love their single varietal stuff. I think it's so fun to explore, you know, small grown acreage of single varietal rye.
Yeah.
Distilled, aged, put in a bottle, way out in the middle of nowhere in northern Minnesota. I mean, seriously, like it looks like the freaking tundra up there when they shoot pictures and stuff.
For sure.
But it's so fun. Like this particular one is the Oakland varietal of rye. I don't know it. I don't know all that much about different varietals of rye, but Oklahoma State University developed this specific strand of rye. It was open pollinated, seeds green, yielded 50 bushels per acre. They planted in 2021 September. They harvested in August 2022, so a year and a month. Just shy of a year and just shy of a year. Distillation was done in March of 2023, and bottling was done in September of 2024. So it's not old whiskey aged. It is just it's so fun. It's almost like a gin, like an aged gin.
Wow, botanical.
There's a lot of botanical, citrusy. It's really a fun whiskey, and a lot of them are that way as well. So I enjoy Far North. I think they're doing some really cool shit out there.
I think for me personally, the Far North distillery is, as far as like Minnesota distilleries to keep an eye on, they're top 3, maybe even higher. Like
absolutely,
if not number 1.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, they're just doing the most interesting stuff.
And I know that as far as if you're just going to talk about Minnesota distilleries, O'Shaughnessy gets the limelight.
They're the biggest, yeah.
Which, you know, Brian Nation absolutely deserves some limelight because obviously he's done some really cool stuff. The problem I see right now is the stuff he's putting out is not his caliber of capability. I'll put it that way. Like he's in years time, he's going to be putting out some absolutely stunning whiskey out of Minnesota.
I really want to see what once they start releasing their own distillate, what that is going to be. It's going to be crazy.
It is going to be crazy. One that is off the radar in Minnesota, I think is really fun, is Studio.
Oh yeah.
Yep. They're super fun. I just killed a bottle of the Studio rye malt the other night, and absolutely a fun whiskey to get into. Roasted rye, malted rye, smoked corn. I mean, it was just really unique build on this whiskey, and it was really good.
I gotta get into those more than I have, but you've probably had Brother Justice stuff, right? Yeah. What do you think about them?
Super cool. Obviously, it's young, right? The process is unique by doing micro cuts throughout the whole process of distillation. But that cold peated, dude, I want to learn a lot more about how he's doing that, because that is such a cool process.
For sure. I sent Randall a sample. I might have to hook you up, but it's a single barrel pick from Ace Spirits in Hopkins.
Yep.
And I haven't had a ton of the Brother Justice stuff just because it's pricey for a full bottle.
Yeah, absolutely.
But these were half bottles, so I'm like, I'll take a shot. And this was by far my favorite from Brother Justice.
Okay.
But I might have to hook you up with that.
I have that cold peated and the regular single malt, which now can't be called single malt. But...
Yeah, right. The distillation is proof is too high, right?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what they do about that.
I don't think he's going to change it. I don't think he's going to change it all. I think he's going to keep doing what he's doing and just call it whiskey, like he's been doing already. And I don't think he needs to change. I think he's doing fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, I have an update. We have actually got to our quota on the McKenna. I can't thank you guys enough. So if you guys are in the chat with $5 donations, you're more than welcome to keep bringing them on. You'll give you. We're gonna stay on for about probably 10 more minutes or so. You will be in the winning for the Henry McKenna bottled and bond 10-year-old, the Larceny barrel proof A123, and the Ben Holiday bottled and bond. I will not pull your name out of the hat. If you have a $5 entry or if you have a $50 entry, you're going to stay in there. So your odds are good. But obviously the more entries you have, the better it's going to be, because guess what? You're going to have more ducks in the duck race. So I poured a little bit of this Brother Justice just because you guys were talking about it.
Excellent.
So, if we're going to do it, let's do it.
Cool.
Which one do you got, Randall?
It's the one that Dylan sent me. It's the barrel pick by Ace Spirits. 122.9 proof. It's a 4-year-old.
Is it
American single?
Let me get the bottle.
Okay. I don't have that one obviously, but I got one of his cold peated and one of his unpeated.
You got something, right?
I can get close to where you're at.
Right.
And Marshall, nobody had mentioned Detling yet until you did, and then right behind you, Locktar mentioned Detling, and then Caesar mentioned Detling. So yeah,
I'm trying really hard, guys, to get them on the show, but it's been an email battle back and forth. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I do. So Randall, follow Mossy Cypress Customs on Instagram. Okay. I'll send you the
okay.
profile. But hit him up too. He may or may not be able to help kind of navigate that a little bit.
Got it. Okay, guys, we're going to run this Dusty Turkey because I'm sick of looking at it on the screen. We have 17 entries. If anybody wants in on this 1983 Wild Turkey, you need to get in right now, because I'm going to give you 5 more seconds. Not hashtag, just Dusty Turkey, because I'm a dummy and don't know how to put hashtags in. That is really good.
So I'm not on the Brother Justice. I'm not finding anything that's saying it's their cold peated version.
I'll grab the unpeated one.
But this is what the bottle looks like.
I do have to tell you, the cold peated bottle with that matte black, gorgeous freaking bottle.
Yeah.
It just so happened it worked out really, really well to my Halloween reels, with the cross on it and black, and yeah, it just worked out really well. And I was happy to drink it, so it always helps when you're happy to drink something.
All right,
absolutely.
Let's run this. Who's gonna win the Dusty Turkey? Let's see.
Are we doing you doing a duck race? Is that what you're doing? Oh no,
not yet. I'm doing the Dusty Turkey real fast.
Okay, redo that.
I am gonna redo it because I already said I was giving you one. So get your ass out of there.
Give me 4 ounces of that. No, okay.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Congratulations.
I can already tell that one's going to be fantastic.
All right, let's get rid of that. Get back on here.
I got to ask you, Randall, on that Dusty Turkey. Were you getting like a very floral potpourri type note?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. That's what I got on my Dusty Turkey, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic, like really enjoyable, like floral potpourri type, like that old school potpourri boiler that your mom used to have because she wanted it at a home interiors party or some shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's water and a bunch of stuff in it floating around, and you light a tea light underneath it, and it just bubbles all day.
Yep.
Yeah, I just that was an awesome little fun. No, we're not playing gray duck, Spicy. No gray ducks here. Well, actually, we got one gray duck in the house.
That's the way I knew it.
All right, we are closing in on this bottle race, or the to win a bottle, but we're not done yet. Yeah, this Dusty Turkey is really. I'm not going to call it Dusty Turkey anymore. That just sounds weird. I mean, it's really floral. It's really. But like it has like almost like the crunchy part of the creme brulee, right? But it's like where it's almost burned. Where like I love burnt sugar, right? That's fine. But like where it's almost like not acrid, but like it almost gets into toasted like marshmallowy, like I mean it's really good. Lord, Doc, stop. Old fashioned ways is blowing me up. He's blowing me up with entries, which is amazing. I appreciate it. I can't thank you guys enough for all of for hanging out with me. This exceeded my expectations, obviously. I only have I will let you know, and this is not to say anything. I only have 3 entries on the prize package, which includes a Glencairn, a challenge coin, and samples. And it could be samples of what we've already drank tonight. If you want some Dusty Turkey, if you want some old Jim Beam, some 400-year-old Jim Beam that's been sitting in the back of my grandma's cupboard for that long. Hell, I'll even throw in some Hinterhaus. I can't throw away too much of this because I need to give some to Germ, but but you know, we're just giving away everything tonight. You want? I got some socks here. You can have my socks too.
I had the Hinterhaus earlier. Let's see, where was that? It was the beer.
Oh yeah, the batch 3. Dust Bowl Brewing.
That one was really good. What? Remind me, where were they from?
Arnold, California.
Okay.
Arnold, California. Okay.
That's up
I knew
north,
California, but I didn't remember the city.
Yeah, it's up past Sacramento a little ways. And they're doing everything local. All their grains are local. I guess it's another ad for them. All their grains are local. They use Admiral malting to malt all their grains. Okay. And the Dust Bowl Brewing Company has a distillery in it, and they just now released like a light, like a clear whiskey or something at Dust Bowl Brewing. So they're kind of collabing. But what they did is they took a beer recipe and then didn't use the hops and then made it into this. And it was all malts, obviously. So, and they only aged it for like 19 months. And they said that's when it tasted good. So we pulled it off, which to me, that's pretty cool. Like they don't need the age statement. They don't need, if it tastes good, pull it off. So that was pretty cool to me because their batch 2 was 16 months old. So, you know, it's kind of cool. But like some of them do get up higher, you know, they have some stuff that's been sitting for years. They just, they like it where you can still taste the grain profile, but yet you're getting all the vanillins and stuff from the wood as well. So why leave it in there any longer if you don't have to?
Right. Pull it based off of flavor.
Absolutely. And that's another thing I learned when I talked to Herman over at Dad's Hat, which I mean, they're kicking ass in the rye whiskey field, right?
Dude, Dad's Hat is awesome.
Yeah, Dad's and like he's pulling his whiskeys at 18 months. He's like, dude, they're good. Why Why would I leave them any longer? He goes, the only thing they're going to get is more oak influence. I don't need the oak influence. I want you to taste the rye whiskey, you know? And he's like, and he goes, because most people, he goes, not everybody, but most people are going to end up putting this in a cocktail. So I want them to be able to taste that rye, not the oak. And he goes, and I don't have to leave it in the barrel as long. Therefore, I can sell it sooner. It just makes sense.
Here's the thing. Anybody that gives him grief about pulling it out at 18 months old, he's succeeding.
Yes.
End of argument. He's succeeding. The whiskey is good. I haven't found a dad's hat that I didn't like, and he's making money.
Mm-hmm.
As a distillery, he's making money.
Yep.
You can't fault him for doing what he's doing. Could he do something different? Sure, he could. He probably is. At the same time, he's still doing the same thing. So, I mean, that argument is ridiculous sometimes.
It really is. I understand it in some
I do too.
aspects, especially with bourbon. I feel like a young bourbon, you can taste it. It tastes pretty young. But with malt, I feel like it develops profile pretty fast. And with rye, but with bourbon, I think there's something with the corn maybe that just kind of throws it off a little bit, where it needs to sit for a little bit longer. Because I've had some, and of course this is Texas, but I've had some 2-year-old Texas whiskeys that I'm like, man, that needs less oak influence, but more time in a barrel. You know what I mean? Like, it's over oaked, but yet underaged. So it's kind of difficult on that point, because there is a thing of maturing or aging it. Not aging it enough, but it's matured way too much. It's got more oak influence than it needs, but it's still, and that's one of the cool things about Iron Root and Still Austin and all those places. They're doing slow water reduction in the barrel.
It helps.
And it really helps with the over tannicness of the barrel coming through and just making it taste like, crappy whiskey that, you poured through a shoe or something. Like, it's just not right.
There's a massive difference between age and maturity.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Age is a number of years that it's spent in wood, and the higher the number, the higher the number. Maturity is when it's ready, and if you're gonna let it go past maturity, nobody talks about Garrison.
We weren't talking about that at all. We were not. Stop. But yeah, no, I totally agree. All right, guys, I want to do a duck race for the larceny barrel proof, because we're not wrapping up, but we have 29 people in the list as of right now. We are going to do it for this one, since I know who. I'm gonna turn this off because it's loud as hell.
Doc, absolutely, man. Age wise, I'm 43. Maturity wise, I'm 12. Well, sometimes.
All right, here we go. Can y'all can't even see that, can you? No, you can't, because I didn't share my screen.
That would help.
My God. I'm on the wrong freaking. It's going right now, so let me. It's going as we speak. Right here. Look, there it is.
There we got it.
I promise it was going for 2 minutes 22 seconds for my brother Doc over there.
Cheers, Doc.
Now I have the free version of this, obviously, because I'm Poe, and so the ads, don't look at those. We're not sponsored by Stanley or any of these other people. We are sponsored by Bad Motivator Barrels. Go to badmotivatorbarrels.com. Use my link in the pinned comment down below.
Dude, I got to tell you, whether you are dabbling in making your own spirits at home, or you found a good buy on some White Dog whiskey, Bad Motivator Barrels are the way to age some stuff in a fairly controlled situation.
Right.
Put it, not environment, because environment matters where you are, but it's a stainless steel barrel with a wood head. And so you've limited your wood contact just to the head, and it's a small amount. So if you're buying White Dog, it's affordable, and you can do your own little projects on it, and that's really fun. I mean, such a cool experiment to play around, and they're not crazy expensive.
No, they're not.
You can reuse it many times. So yeah, absolutely. If you guys are interested in trying something out like that, that's a good way to go.
And I will tell you, Doc Martinez from Old Fashioned Ways won the Infinity Barrel on my last live, and we are working in collab together about doing a bourbon that is finished in something, and we'll talk about that later. I won't spoil anything, but I will tell you that it is going to be awesome, and you guys need to stay tuned for that because it's going to be really great. Who is going to win this one? Is it Joe? Is Joe going to win?
Joe. I don't know who Joe is, but
Joe Ash.
Oh, you
Joe Ash,
son of a gun.
You won the larceny. All right. So I don't know if Marshall is still in the chat, but Marshall, if you are still in the chat, I'm doing it. I am breaking out the Rum JM VO from Martinique Agricole Rum.
Ooh,
excellent. Good stuff.
I'm going to, well, no, but I thought of Marshall when all this was going on, and I was like, oh, he's drinking rum while we're drinking whiskey, and it just made me feel, I felt bad for him. He has a lot to be felt bad for, so I love you, Marshall. Stop. Okay, we're gonna do one more. Congrats, Joe. We're gonna do one more. We're going to race again. No. Race again. Shuffle up. And this is for the holiday. And we're going to start.
Here we go.
So realistically here, any of the entries could win all 3 bottles.
Absolutely. Joe can win all 3.
So you're saying there's a chance.
You're saying there's a chance.
Look does Joe wait a minute, time out. Does Joe's duck have a beard? Like an old gray beard? Dude, that's comedy. That's pure comedy. Joe's duck is old.
This is riveting, isn't it? Sitting here watching ducks.
I mean, there's worse things to do on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Marshall, you're drinking that Mexican rum again. You are really enjoying that. I mean, the amount that you're enjoying that makes me want to go grab a bottle or 2 of that because
what's the rum?
It's well, I'll let Marshall comment back to it. I can't. Waxen. I don't know. But it's out of Mexico. And it's apparently it's good as shit.
I will say rum's got, I mean, that's where it's at as far as being able to go find stuff on the shelf that is just good stuff.
I'm a whiskey guy. I will never abandon whiskey.
For sure.
Whiskey's my home. And I love rum. And I kind of found my niche in funky Jamaican rum. Like I love Worthy Park. I love Hampton. I love Long Pond, that kind of stuff. Rum is a superior spirit. I will throw that out there. There is far more complexities in any rum that I've had than every whiskey that I've had.
Okay.
I enjoy drinking it. Whiskey to me though is just okay. We're gonna reel it back in. We're gonna come back home. We had fun visiting, and we're gonna come back home.
Did Doc get it?
It looks like it.
Did Doc get it? But we have an issue. He said that Night Method said that I missed him. So what we are going to do is we are going to edit list. Dan. You're right. I did. So we are going to rerun. And Dan, I'm going to put you in there twice. How about that? We are going to rerun the second round. Sorry, Doc. I know you don't need an extra bottle. You're fine. We are going to rerun the second one. And that way Dan's in here. And now you're in here twice, Night Method. Sorry about that. Thank you for calling me out on it, because I've been known to... Yeah. He says he's good with that. I'm as I'm running it, So it's like... All right, let's see who's going to win this one. We're going to put it on full screen because you guys are in the way, and you're in the way. Oh my gosh. I can't get stuff out of the way. That's the wrong one. There we go. Whiskey Wisdom is coming on in 30 minutes, so I will make sure that we are gone before then. Don't spend all your money over there. You can spend it here. We have one more race to go. You see how I did that? We have one more race to go.
Good, man.
And it's for the Henry McKenna 10 from 2021. You guys don't know nothing about that. You weren't even born then. That rum is really good. I'm sorry. That is
that jam. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yes. It has a little funk to it, which I'm like, okay, but it's not like overpowering. It has some sweetness. I don't really know the tasting notes of rum, so it's kind of I'm getting vanillas and stuff like that, but it's also like almost like medicinal cherry, but like not grassy. The Luden's cough. Yeah, it's a little grassy, but not like the Luden's cough drop, but almost like a tart cherry or something, like almost like similar to the reactor whiskey, kind of, where it has almost tingling my tongue a little bit.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not going to claim that I know a lot about rum, but I got to say that any kind of cherry it's pulling out of the barrel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm almost certain that rum JM is an agricole rum.
Yes, it is.
Marshall, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, but I think that's an agricole rum. So that's fresh pressed cane juice.
Ooh, Miss D.
D. Good job. Congratulations. I think grassy is a pretty typical note for that.
Now, Miss D, she is an old OG, pardon my American person, and she's been with me for a long time. So I don't know if she's still in the chat, but if she is, you want a bottle of Ben Holiday coming your way.
Andy,
I have
congratulations.
I have your address. So all right. So we're gonna wait a second before we do the final one. And everybody is still in the running. I'm gonna give everybody a couple more minutes. If you want to make any last minute donations, you're more than welcome. I'm not asking for them. I'm just saying, hey, if you want to. And then after that, we will do the Glencairn and the challenge coin, which will have some samples in it too, because I'm just being generous like that. That's how I do it. I feel like this whiskey community has given me so much, and I feel like I need to give back when I can. But obviously, covering shipping costs and stuff like that, it does make a difference. Germ and Dylan both can tell you, shipping even through private shipping people like Pirate Ship and other places like that, it gets expensive, especially when you're shipping to people every week or every other week or every other day in some instances. So this just helps to cover those costs. We don't make any money monetarily off of this yet. Hopefully one day we will. We'll be monetized and have ad reads on here and stuff like that. But that's not what we're working for. We're working for the love of the game and the love of the whiskey, and the fact that I get to sit here and drink 41-year-old whiskey not aged, but 41-year-old whiskey with two of my good friends. I can't think of a better night.
Cheers to that, brother.
Mm-hmm. Randall's going all out on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you subscribe to his channel.
Absolutely. And
guys, if you are not, obviously if you're here on Randall's channel, you're probably subscribed to him. But if you're here on mine, because I'm putting it on mine as well.
Yes.
If you're here on mine, you haven't subscribed to Randall's channel yet. Please do so. Hit the thumb, hit the sub button, do all that stuff.
And if you guys feel generous and you're wanting to spend more money before the end of the year, I do have a patreon.com/thewhiskeyshaman. You can get in there. You can get, I just gave out samples for Christmas, Glencairns, all the stuff that you guys are probably having right now has already been given out. And thank you to my sponsors, Bad Motivator Barrels, Z Smith Whiskey and Mixology, and Hinterhaus Distilling. And soon, as the first of the year, we will have a new sponsor as well. I'm trying really hard to get more and more sponsors because they help make this channel grow. And all of the people who won stuff, if you would reach out to me at whiskeyshamanpodcast@gmail.com. Send me your address, and I promise I won't spam you and send you my panties or anything. You're going to get actual whiskey. So I promise.
I think I'm the only one that gets away with sending dick pics to people.
That is true. I will take any of your dick pics that you have.
Yeah.
I saw Steven said he unsubscribed and resubscribed. So, I mean, that's definitely the attitude we're looking for.
I don't know if that's what we're going for, brother, but I appreciate the work. I appreciate you helping out.
It's a little notification when he gets off the stream. Hey, somebody subscribe to your channel.
Yeah. Yep. And the analytics go.
Hey, it's Steve. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Up and down. All right, we're gonna do the final duck race. What else do I have to give away? Nothing. I ain't got nothing. Y'all don't get nothing else. This is all I got. I give you the shirt off my back, but this is my Mr. Rogers shirt. You can't have it.
Dude, I got to tell you.
Let's do the last one.
That challenge coin, absolutely the best challenge coin I have ever seen in my entire life. It's fantastic. The colors on it are spot on. The logo, great. The craftsmanship, fantastic. Put your hand behind it. It'll focus better.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
He hand painted all of those too. So
he did.
Absolutely.
Each one individually.
He's got a kiln. He's got another channel, Randall's Pottery and Kiln Experiences.
Got that? That's good stuff. Good stuff. Where am I at?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Guys, that challenge coin is sick. It really is.
It really is. And these guys, I'm okay. One of the other things we talked about this a little earlier about this next year, I'm going to get a store. I will have a website with a store that you can go to, buy challenge coins. I'm going to try to have maybe once a year, or maybe not, depending upon how they sell, different types of either challenge coins, stickers, or Glencairns. I'm thinking about doing possibly the Whiskey Wisdom glasses or Copitas or something like that, to where kind of changing it up and maybe putting Keep Your Spirits Up on just one of the glasses, doing different things. I thought about making a bunch of stickers that say Dusty Plantains because I got a bunch of shit for that. So, we'll see what happens, but y'all stay tuned. We're going to have some real fun. And I know these other two guys, both Freedom Malts and Whiskey House Pub House, I can only think of the crap that they're going to get into next year. If you guys, before we get off of here, before we do this last race, if you guys want to tell us a little bit about your channels and where they can find you guys. Whoever wants to go first, whoever wants to fight over it.
Dylan, fire it off, brother.
All right. Well, hopefully next year I'm looking, a little bit new to YouTube, hoping to do more reviews. We do podcasts, me and a couple buddies. So hopefully we get back on those. But right now it's just been mainly bottle reviews, things that I'm interested in that I think you should take a look to. Probably most of the people that are here have already heard of it, but you never know. And yeah, hoping to grow a little bit and just kind of have fun.
Excellent. Yeah, so you can find me at Freedom Malts everywhere except all the places that I'm not. So Instagram and YouTube at Freedom Malts, Freedom_malts to be exact. I do the blind sample showdown, and we are right in the midst of it right now. Our boy Randall here, he has moved on from round 1 to round 2 to round 3. So he's doing good. He's in he's going to be in the Elite 8. And yeah, I look at the bracket on my wall to make sure I'm speaking correctly. But it's a blind sample showdown. I send out 3 samples to 2 people. They go head to head. There's 10 points available per sample. One with the most points moves on. There isn't a participation trophy or anything like that, other than you get to sample 3 whiskeys that you may not have had. But yeah, I do that. I do a little bit of review stuff. I've kind of lacked on that a little bit, and I do try to take a nice set of pictures every once in a while of some cool shit, some cool bottles, and put them out there. But, yeah, the blind sample showdown is my thing. I mean, I love
a kick out of that. Yeah, that's been real fun to watch.
It's fun to do. It's a lot of work, but it's fun to do.
Yeah.
Realistically, sampling whiskey blind, 100% blind. Like, it's not from your collection. You have no idea what it is. I mean, that's the ultimate way to drink and see if you like something or don't like something. Mm-hmm. And you're gonna find both things. So it's the best.
Yep. All right, let's do this final duck race, and then we're going to get out of here. We're over 2 hours, guys. So we're going to get out of here. I'm sure we've all got other stuff to do, like have another dram or get on Instagram Live or whatever we do on a Sunday night. I don't know if y'all both have to work in the morning, but I do. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this last one for the Henry McKenna 10-year bottled and bond. Let's get on that one. Race again. Shuffle characters. And start.
Doc, it was awesome to have me on, brother.
There we go.
I mean, I'm just appreciative of the people that agree to do it. So I know I've asked a lot of people that just kind of ignore the request because maybe they're scared, maybe they just don't see it or whatever. I don't know what the case is, but
they're scared.
Yeah, that's what I got to go on. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just grateful for everybody that agrees to do it. That's one of the best things for me and this year was really fantastic, guys. I had some really big Instagram accounts come in and do things like Hood Sommelier and Bourbon Whiskey Library.
Mm-hmm.
Really good Instagram accounts to follow. So that was really fun. A couple that I asked didn't bother responding. So, I'm not going to name any names, but.
How many participants did you have this year?
All good.
32. So, 32. And that's where I'm going to cap it at. I'm not going to go any higher. So season will be 32 as well. And obviously I got to figure out a way to do this, because if I have the same 32 next season, it's not going to be as cool. But I love everybody that was in it. So it's really difficult. So I got to come up with a way to do maybe the Elite 8 is an automatic comeback.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we kind of open it up to some nominations or voting or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I got to figure that out. But
yeah,
it's down the road.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to have everybody.
I've already got my nomination. So.
Well, you're in, man. You're in the Elite 8, so you're in.
No. My nomination of somebody else. It just happens to be talking to us right now. So
maybe that's something that I
think Dylan would do very well.
I think maybe that's what I'll do, Randall. I agree with that. I like that idea. So the Elite 8 is an automatic back, and those 8 people can each nominate 2 people.
That is a good idea. Yeah.
And then obviously if they disagree, they don't want to join, then we open it up after that. But I like that idea. I think that might be something that I run with, Randall.
Well, I'll just start off with this. I am scared and terrified, so I will not respond. No, I'm kidding.
No, shut up. Yes, you will. So does everybody see this?
Fucking Joe.
Does everybody see this? That Joe won again. So
Damn,
Joe won
Joe.
2 bottles.
Respect that.
He did put in a little bit more than other people, which I appreciate that. But the fact that he was able to win 2 bottles saves me on shipping, so that's amazing. Thank you very much, Joe. But at the same time, that's awesome. I can't thank Joe and all of the people who donated. Thank you all so very much. It means a lot to me. And once we get monetized, we'll be able to do this a little bit easier. I know it kind of sucks doing a thing, but what I'm going to do real fast, and if you guys need to get off, go ahead.
I'm good.
We're going to race again. No, we're not going to race again. What am I doing? Start over.
Joe,
edit name list.
And I mean, I appreciate you doing all that to get into the entry.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome. But Joe's a good dude, man. If there's a good dude out there in California, Joe's it.
I mean, yes, you're right. So I just got a comment on my last episode that I did, and it said that my background music was way too loud, and I agree. Yes, it was. If you've listened to the Nashville Barrel one, it was way too loud, and I apologize for that. I'm trying to put music and stuff in there, and it's just, I don't know, it's difficult to find it because you can barely hear it on my end. You can barely hear it, and then you're like, okay,
it's
so
really difficult to figure all that stuff out. You know what I mean? Like, because as you're recording it, you know that background music is playing, and it sounds good to you at that point in time. But then you put it out, and it's different. And
credit to Randall, because it's like the amount of work that has to go into even a 10-minute video.
It's stupid.
It's a lot.
It's stupid.
It's like
it is
like 3 hours for me at least.
Man, I've made 30-second videos that took me 4 hours of time to make the 30-second video. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just the amount of work that goes into it.
Have you seen your videos though? I mean, have you seen your videos though? It's like, come on. You're doing too much. You're doing too much.
Well, maybe I am. I mean,
all right.
Here's the thing though. I love playing with the editor. It's fun. I mean, I can't not.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then I have to tweak.
See here's some inside baseball, but I'm not hip with all the Adobe Premiere and the editing software and all that stuff. I'm using Premiere CapCut, which, hey, it works great, but there is certain things that I'm just like, oh, that's cheesy. Why is that on there? That's stupid. And I get it. Having the other stuff makes it a lot better. But for right now, it's one of those things. I don't have the extra income to drop on. I'm already paying for StreamYard and this and that and, all these other things. I'm like, I'm not trying to put another, $20 a month or whatever into another program that I have to fully learn the whole program. And I'm like, no, I don't even know what I'm talking about here. You know what I mean? It's okay. So now what we are going to do is the duck race for the package.
Okay.
So the duck race for the sample package, which has a Glencairn, a challenge coin, and a couple of little samples. Who knows what they'll be? They might be Malort. Who knows? But
everybody's got to try Malort.
You never know.
It might be the barrel.
Absolutely.
Malort.
So it's a race between Tom Jack and Kenneth. So let's go.
So I use CapCut as well,
super
Randall. I use CapCut on things too. So CapCut works great, but there is some very cheesy things on there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
especially
I
when
do
you're
like
trying to look up something.
Yes. Yeah. I do enjoy it for the fact that I can whip it out real quick on my phone. It's not a long drawn out process.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Whip out your dick pics on your phone. Yep.
Yep.
Do you guys use OBS or tried OBS?
All right.
So OBS is
No,
I haven't used OBS yet, but I am thinking because my StreamYard membership renews in March.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about switching to Riverside FM.
Okay.
I haven't made the final decision yet, but it's looking like I'm going to go that way because StreamYard upped their price drastically.
Yeah, they did. And I got the premiere of it as well to get the 1080, and I don't see any difference really.
No. And it went from like $200 for the year to $450.
Ooh.
So
holy crap.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, it's definitely worth looking into the OBS thing. I know
the OBS is free.
It's complicated. It's definitely more complicated, and it's not. Yeah, there's definitely everything's got its own drawback. But
so the Riverside FM has got some cool features for like my show that work out really well. So like, I'm gonna a buddy of mine is trying to push me into it, and he can do some like producing type stuff while I'm doing the show. But there's things on that one that he can show like the audience things that the guests can't see. So that would be really fun for the blind sample showdown. You know what I mean?
That is cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I might go that route, and I've been looking at it, and we've been talking about it, but I got to make sure he's got the time to do the production side of it for me, because that's the hard part. Like trying to keep track of all the comments, the dropping this and dropping that and doing all that stuff. Tom Jack takes the win.
Tom Jack. Good job. He was really wanting that package. So I appreciate everybody who did that. That was such an amazing thing. And we are done, guys. I'm not giving away anything else other than my gratitude. That's all I can give away anymore. My gratitude, my many thanks. I thank you all for coming on here. Guys, if you want to hang out, you're more than welcome. We just won't be recording. And I can't thank you enough for hanging out with me for this end of the year spectacular extravaganza thing that we did. We had a fun time, and we got to drink some pretty cool whiskey, or at least I did. It seems like you guys did as well. So I hope you guys have a blessed new year. And I hope that tomorrow doesn't suck too bad, because it's kind of the day in between a holiday. So anyway, I hope we all have a great week and a blessed new year and a very prosperous new year. And you know what we always say. Until next time, keep your spirits up. Peace.